Teresa. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. I'm a little bit spooked because I just watched the film recently, but besides that, I'm fine. So firstly, congratulations on the twin. How does it feel for audiences to finally get to see it?
Oh, I'm so happy. It was a film that I feel immensely proud of, and I was so excited to be a part of it. That it's just brilliant that it's finally coming out, and already so far, from what I'm hearing, people are really enjoying the movie.
Yeah. Well, taking it back to the beginning, what initially attracted you to the script?
I think the characters, really. I was obsessed with this idea of a fractured family and how they can pick up the pieces of their shattered lives and move forward. So for me, the movie was a really wonderful, dramatic piece of cinema. And then there was a horror elements as well, which is just an added bonus. So I felt really comfortable to jump on board this film, and knew that the crew was really strong. The director, Taneli, he had a brilliant film, Lake Bottom, which I saw a couple of weeks before I read the script. And then also the DP, Daniel, is just wonderful. So I was really excited to jump on board.
Well, I think another thing that's so exciting about this film is the fact its locations shot in Finland and a bit in Estonia. Kind of like in these hauntingly beautiful landscapes, seemingly in what felt like the middle of nowhere. I'm not sure if that was a reality, but it had this look to it. How did shooting in these locations kind of influence your performance?
I think the locations really set the tone for what it is you're trying to do. This house had that real ominous feeling when you drove up. It was that quintessential horror home. And I loved being in the house. It was also, I'd find myself walking around and exploring different areas of this home, and there were all these little nooks and crannies and old cupboards and like dark walkways. And it was just such a unique home. It was in Estonia. But it always sets the tone for performance. If the staging is done right and the production design, you should feel like you really are in a place that gives you chills, and that was very much my experience.
Yeah, that house looked like incredibly immersive. Like it was beautiful, it was spooky, it was a little bit surreal, it was a bit of everything.
It was all the things.
I'm just double checking if I did my homework correctly, but were you pregnant during filming this film with your fourth child?
Correct. Yes, yeah. I was 13 weeks pregnant up until 25 weeks pregnant during the filming. So that's why you'll see me in lots of big oversized coats and jumpers and bags.
Yeah, along with being creeped out, I was like, Teresa looks very comfortable. Like I didn't know beforehand. I was like, oh, the clothes looks really comfy. So belated congratulations.
Thank you very much. She's almost 9 months old now.
Well, I was just kind of wondering how you kind of negotiate a character like Rachel, who's going through this really intense process of grieving, with your personal life for those kind of 6-ish weeks of filming. Like, how does that kind of work?
Yeah, look, it was very challenging, I have to say. I think emotionally, it took a toll on me because I was here just celebrating new life and enjoying my growing baby and feeling her move, and I was just so elated about this pregnancy. But then the contrast of being in this character who's just lost a child and is in such a deeply painful place, and she's really just trying to survive. That was really hard. I was like a swinging pendulum. I had to just keep returning back to a place of breaking up with this character at the end of the day. Like I could not spill any of it into my home life because I was showing up for my kids and doing books and bath and bedtime and talking to them about little kid things and We were tobogganing and all those sorts of wonderful things in and around Estonia. So I just, I had to find a way to make it work. And I did. I was able to really sort of break up with the character as much as I could and then really immerse myself back into her. The moment I got to set, I was back in it, and I did a lot of reading. I did tons of reading of articles and books that women had written on grief and the specific grief to losing a child, or the specific grief of losing a child, I should say. And it's just such a traumatic event, and so many of them were so open and willing to share that aspect of their lives. And it was profoundly moving. So I would carry those journal entries around with me and read them. It would help pull me back into the character.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you feel like over your career, you've kind of nailed the process in terms of kind of getting into these types of characters, or these characters who have this kind of are going through this heightened emotional state? Or do you feel like every project's kind of a new, or you're kind of experimenting or trying to get into that headspace?
I've probably gotten better at it, having my on-off switch. I think when I was younger, I've always been able to switch off quite easy when I was younger and on set. I was never one of those actors who would stay in the accent and stay in character. That just never worked for me. I always just popped out of character. But then it would be harder to get back into character. So I think in the last few years, I've gotten a lot better at being able to move in and out of both worlds. And probably because I'm a mum now and I don't really have the choice. I can't do a half-assed job at that. I have to really be present with the kids, and then I really have to be present in my work. And if I'm not present in my work, it'll manifest itself in my performance, and I'll be able to see a laziness to the performance. And I have seen that before on screen. I've been like, oh, I wasn't focused that day. And so I've seen that, and I think I'm my own biggest critic. So I really have a system in place now where I can concentrate on each thing as an individual, and that's steering away from, celebrating that part of me as a woman who I'm a good multitasker. I think when it comes to work, I have to try not to be a multitasker. I have to really focus on the one task at hand, and that's really how I set myself up for success.
That's great. So to talk about before the aforementioned director, Taneli, he kind of described the core of this film about being a message of like self-denial that can kind of crush you. And he said this amazing quote, which I will pull up because I can't remember it verbatim. He said, "The most destructive prison is the one you build around yourself." Was it kind of important for you to explore this type of emotionally relatable horror along with the scares? Because the film is scary in that kind of jump scare and genre way, but it does have this beating heart, which is really quite relatable.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think the heartbeat of the story is this family, and how they are picking up the fractured pieces of their lives after such a traumatic event. And for me, that really, that is the story. That it's the story is that, and the dynamic between husband and wife, and then mother and the surviving child. It's a very delicate balance, and then on top of it, they just fold the horror elements into it. And I love that there are the jump scares and there are the things that make it horrifying to watch. But really, what makes this a compelling movie is are these characters that we're rooting for, and we're seeing them in their most revealing and intimate moments of grief. And sometimes it's really uncomfortable to watch. Because I feel so deeply when I watch it. But yeah, I would say they were all the wonderfully colourful elements that make this film what I think to be, a really strong horror film.
Yeah, I find that for myself personally, when I watch a lot of horror films, I'm always screaming at the screen, like, don't go in there. Why are you doing that? But with your performance and Rachel and this family, you kind of understand why they take those steps, like as the story kind of unravels, since you're emotionally there, it makes complete sense. Yeah. So I thought that was
Thank
really
you. Yeah, I think I was given such a unique opportunity to just be able to go there emotionally. And I didn't, I really, maybe I should have held back in some ways, but I really went there, and I would find myself like a broken shell of Teresa at the end of the day. Yeah. And my husband would like give me a massage, and sometimes I would just have to like go and have an alone cry in the bath and then just get it out of my body, and then come out and be like, all right, book some bedtime. So it was, really heavy, but what an opportunity to be able to dive into performance. Like I was given such a great opportunity.
Yeah. And I guess to kind of my last question, kind of talking about those opportunities, you've had this amazing career working all types of films. At this point, what are you kind of looking for when you approach a project?
I'm really looking for an amazing character. I think that's probably the first thing I look for is that. And then, the next thing I look for is who's around that amazing character. Who are the other cast members? Who are the creators, the director, the producers? What are their past credits? Are they up and coming? What's their vision? How solid the words are in the script. Do I believe the script? Do I believe the world? Have they done a good job at setting up what the world is? So I really want to score with a character. I want to be able to explore a character in a way where I can find pieces where I could give a riveting performance. Sometimes it's not there in the writing, and it's going to be hard to carry the words. And then other times you can see it on the script and know, oh, wow, I'm going to be given so many incredible opportunities to try things and be bold and brave with my performance. And the older I've gotten, the more I'm so much more focused on that. And, I find acting really cathartic, and especially when there's a really gritty, layered, amazing character at the heartbeat of the story, and if it sets you up to go in and try things and push yourself outside of your comfort zone, then that's really what I'm looking for.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. Well, I think you definitely did it with Rachel and the twin.
Thank you.
Yeah, and congratulations. Congratulations on the film. Amazing, scary film. I'm also a twin too, so this film is right up my alley. Yeah.
Get out!
But I'm also a non-identical twin, so not there like the film, but close enough. Like I was like,
close enough. Hey, you get it? That twin connection. It's still very real.
Yeah, a lot of that in there. But yeah, congratulations, Teresa, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.